What's up, everybody? This is Zach with the Jam Space Podcast. How is your new year looking so far? Has everybody had a chance to check out the year-end Doomed and Stone charts? How are your year-end lists looking? I want to give a shout out to Chris Beck at Doom Tune Podcast. I want to give a shout out to Bucky at Doomed and Stone. John over at Vegas Rock Revolution. House from the Hollow Radio, Heavy in the Hills radio show, My Stoner and Co. out of France, Australian Banks Radio. Shout out to all you guys, man. If you're not familiar with their shows, definitely look into it. Workhorse Magazine is a publication that's only got about 2 issues right now. Definitely check that out, man. It's a free magazine for musicians in the stoner doom scene. Go to Workhorse Magazine on any social media. You should be able to get you a subscription. Totally free. Anybody in Montreal that wants to be in a music video for Pink Cocoon, reach Mark Zola on social media in his DMs. He has a one-man band, Pink Cocoon. They've put out 2 singles in the past couple of months. Very good stuff. His last video, Wasting My Time, is very cool, man. Check him out on YouTube. That's Pink Cocoon. If you are in Montreal and you are interested in being in his music video for his new single, reach out to him in his DMs because he has put the word out for that. So I always like to see what he's working on. I hope one day I can get up there to Montreal and see for myself. I just got back into Phoenix. I spent the weekend in Austin, Texas. I was down there hanging out with Holy Death Trio while they were recording in the studio. I got to meet Charles over at Scary American Studios down there. We talked a little bit about Sonic Ranch out in El Paso, Texas. I got to contribute a little bit on Holy Death Trio's album. I won't say too much on that. I don't want to say anything that those guys haven't said yet. So that's all I'm going to touch on that, being in the studio with them. But it was great seeing my friends John, Jonathan, and Trey, man. And everybody I ran into at the apartment, man. Jesse Lee, shout out to Day Eater. Shout out to Secondhand Shack guys. Matt. Good seeing all you guys, man. I had such a blast. Dano from Dogwood People drove up and picked me up at the airport. And then we stayed out there Thursday night and woke up Friday morning and headed up to Texarkana. You know, that's where I'm from. So we went up there and spent the rest of the weekend. And we recorded a short podcast on the trip. We're about 30 miles outside of our destination when this thing kicks off. Some of the things that we're talking about on here are going to make me come off as a bit jaded or something, and I don't want you guys to think that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm not jaded with the music industry in any form or fashion. But I do believe that, let's call them there's some gatekeepers to the industry, and I think they're kind of pushing a racket sometimes by just, instructing people how to use social media, but then it always funnels you towards some sort of paywall. They want you to buy some sort of subscription. I mean, once you get to the bowels of the internet, man, you usually end up in some kind of sub for sub group. Everybody wants to do follow for follow. There's no real genuine support sometimes on the internet. And the way people have utilized social media and other aspects of entertainment as podcasting and comedy or social commentary or political commentary is a lot easier to make engaging content on a consistent basis. It's not so easy for music, because what am I going to do? Am I going to fucking play you a new song every day on Instagram? You're not going to really listen to that anyways. Am I going to, make new covers every day? Check out this cover of an old 80s song, We're not Five Finger Death Punch. I just want to... I've been thinking about how to find the balance for social media and how to make engaging content so that you could flip over to some sort of subscription platform like a comedian or a podcast does, because I'm subscribed to several people's Patreon. I see how it works. I do get engaged with their content. I appreciate them putting out content on a consistent basis, but I struggle with trying to do that from a musician standpoint. So, without further ado, this is a trip out of Austin with Daniel Rangel from Dogwood People.
All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Best fucking food I've been to that I ever had. I was on fucking shrooms and acid. Weed Eater was there. That was fucking. I was on shrooms.
Watching Weed Eater?
Dude. Yeah, what's his name? Fucking. What's Daisy? Dixie Dave? Dude, but by the time. Okay. I went to go fucking. We were watching. If you've never listened to him, you ought to check him out. Slim Sens's Auto Club. Dude, and I'd taken some shrooms, and like, bro, watching them was almost like religious. Like they're so involved with the crowd, and you know it was dark, and they were on the wooden stage, so you couldn't see past it. You could see lights and shit. It was fucking weird, but cool. Like almost at the end, I was like, oh shit, Orange Goblin's gonna be on the main stage. I had like a pocket full of shrooms. I went and got a burrito and like put the shrooms on, and I ate them. And Orange Goblin kicked ass. Another band was playing, but Weed Eater was setting up on the main stage again. Dude, I went over there and I stood like right in front of dude, and and he'll fucking swing his like bass around and kick it with his fucking heel. It's like and the fucking drummer sits right front center stage.
I saw him live. He was gnawing on his fucking. He was chewing on his bass amp.
Dude, he just like he's all about the way he plays. He'll fucking spit like a.
He turns his hat all the way around.
Yeah, dude. Like his like he's like dancing, fucking like tightly with his bass, and every fucking swing move he makes is like, it was fucking. That's when the shrooms had kicked in. I was like, whoa!
I saw Weed Eater with Zeke. Zeke is badass. You never heard Zeke? They're like fucking hardcore punk, almost thrash. It's really fast, dude. Really fast.
Sure.
Their songs are only a couple minutes long. Speaking of shrooms, I went to a sleep concert on mushrooms in San Diego last year, and JD Pinkett is the guy from Butthole Surfers. And he has a solo deal.
Does he?
It's like banjo music for people that are on mushrooms.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, except we were on mushrooms. I looked at my wife and she said, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, I'm glad you said something, because I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't want to scare you.
I tried watching Midnight Gospel on fucking shrooms. I was like, they started kicking. I just couldn't fucking keep up. I was like, I can't watch this. Like, I can't fucking know. Dude, Muddy Roots was fucking fantastic, man. Like, let's see how many bands you know that were there. I have the fucking thing saved.
So what do you think about Austin, man, and all those cats over there? Like, we're on the trip. This is Jam Space Podcast, man. We're about 20 miles outside of Texarkana, about to be at fucking B2's house. We just left Austin last night. We did some cool shit with John and them from Holy Death Trio. What'd you think, man? What was your impression?
Well, the Double Johns fucking rock, man.
They do. And Trey.
And Trey.
They're all fucking badass.
They're pretty solid three-piece, man.
What was that guy's name in the studio?
Can't remember.
Charles. Charles Bradley?
I didn't catch his last name.
No,
You did.
Charles Bradley's a fucking old R&B singer.
Dude, that might be his name.
Charles something at Scary American Studios. And I got right off at the airport, and it was about a 15-minute drive to the studio.
Except for the beer stop.
Stopped and got some beer and wrote a song on the way there. John sent me some Dropbox links of some shit that they've been working on that they haven't been able to write lyrics to. Asked me if I had any ideas. And then you gave me a pen and a pad, and I started writing, and then you knew it was good when I started chuckling to myself.
Laughing over 2 words.
Tuck it in. That's 3 words.
I guess Ride Betty Ride is 3 words too.
If you write lyrics and you make yourself laugh because that's how obscene your fucking shit is, then you know you got a good song right there.
I think so. We thought it was going to be a song about...
That was the first time I've ever been in a recording studio and write a song right there on the spot. Because when we got in there, I already had the first 2 verses. I guess the verse is 2 different passes. So I had the first verse, which had 2 different fucking phrases. And then Charles, he said, before we even get started, let's finish these lyrics. And you had some input, and Jonathan had some input, and John had some input, and we all sat there and wrote this fucking song really fast. And then it came out nice, man. It was, since it was so spur of the moment and, what's the word I'm looking for? Spontaneous. It was like so much more fun, and like the energy in the room, you could feel the creative energy. It was like thick air.
It was like a contest, as if writing isn't already a contest.
Yeah.
To get out what's in your head. Time is of the essence in a studio you pay for.
Right. And that's
uh,
another thing, man. They asked me to be a guest in the studio, and I'm trying to do these things they're asking me to do with no kind of preparation, no practice whatsoever, man. Like, they play it for me, and they're like, okay, here's the line, here's what we want you to do, go. And I'm trying not to waste their fucking time, you know what I mean? I'm trying to do a good job, and at the same time, not waste their time, but at the same time, having ideas and like, well, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should put this harmony there, put this octave right there. But then that shit starts taking time, and then you're like, before you know it, you done spent half an hour trying to do one line. And I was trying to make sure I wasn't like burning up their studio time. So I felt I was put on the spot. I felt like I performed well. I did get nervous. And I don't know if you can tell, but I started sweating. I had to fucking start shedding layers in there, dude.
Yes. I mean, but you're active. It's not like singing is an easy feat. Lots and lots do-overs for all of them. But you nailed it. How did you feel when you offered to do some overlay vocals, and you took it a little step higher, a notch up? Had that Zach Cry death scream in there.
Well, they asked me to fucking contribute, and you know, that's what I did, bro. And I want to contribute in the most subtle way without stepping all over it, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to come and make their song my song. I want to contribute to their song. And so I have different voices than John has, the singer. And, and I just hear what I hear in my head. And I express that to them. Hey man, I could probably do this right here. And then when we cut it, he's like, oh my God, that sounds fucking great.
It did sound great.
You know, and I'm like, thank you, man. That's why I came here to contribute, man. And I think it's the same kind of attitude as like what I've been going for as far as like the Queens of the Stone Age thing, man. You know how they always have multiple fucking vocalist, and like every song sounds different. Like that album, Songs for the Deaf, man. It's like almost every other song is got a different lead vocal. Mark Lanigan sings on some of them, Nick Oliveri sings on some of them, and then Josh Homme sings on some of them. And then they all sing together on some of them. So, and I want that same mindset for my band. And when John asked me to come to the studio and bounce ideas around, I just came with the same mindset, dude, of we're going to contribute. We're going to have different voices. It's going to be different timbres. And we're just going to, spice it up.
I'd imagine any collaboration when asked or even offered, the understanding is there of the artist in question, what they bring to the table. So they're fully aware that you didn't sound the same and everything. But I think there's something to say about even what I've learned, what you learned, as being like part of a band, and as a band grows, from the first couple songs that maybe one person or an individual has had laid out to the end of an album, where the better half of it was created as like a group collective. You learn that it's not about being the best musician in the song. It's not a shred fest. It's we are servants to the song, and you always do. You always want to do what's best for a song, not too much, not too little, and collectively, everybody figures it out. And you figure if it's not just your band, it's bands, you can look at it the same for a brief moment.
That's where I want to get, is making albums as a band, because I think that is the starting point for most bands. Hey, I got 4 songs I wrote. Let's learn these 4 songs, and then let's write another fucking 4 or 5 that kind of sound like it. So if you write songs and you have material, that's how you start a band. And then from there, if you're doing it right, you guys are going to start making music together, as opposed to bringing in songs that you wrote.
I think there's something big about that too. It's take the last band I was in, for instance, Dogwood People. When that was done, it was done. I left for my own reasons, but we had Aaron, who was up and down about being in the band sometimes. But if it wasn't all 4 of us, there are some songs there solely that just would not sound the way they did if, when we were writing them, someone tried a solo idea they had, and so on and so forth. It alleviates the stress of just being a singer-songwriter, period, because I know for me, it's all about getting these sounds and ideas out of my head. If there's other people there, I'm sure most musicians start with a riff, and if that's what you came with, you can't really talk to yourself about it because you're not going to bring any more. You can build something big with the collective minds, and before you know it, everybody's contributing their part, their instrument, and you couldn't write their part for them. You could only write what you would put there, and you get something that's unique and not can't be duplicated without those members.
And sometimes the best thing to do is just get out of your own way. You know what I mean? Don't be married to your ideas. Have an open mind and let other people fucking put their hands on your shit. Because I think some people are so scared to relinquish their creative control. But you got to be confident in the people that you're working with and kind of hand over the reins and see what is possible to be made.
Right. Well, I mean, there's enough stuff out there nowadays. If you really wanted to be a one-man band, you could.
Look, I'm cutting shit in the studio right now as a one-man band.
Yeah, but you're recording it. To perform as a one-man band is totally different.
But what I'm getting at is, that's a very closed box.
I think so.
I'm dealing with myself. It's a closed loop system. If I had the right studio gear, then I would be a for real legit closed loop. I wouldn't have to outsource anything, man.
Except for live performance.
I could write the songs, I could record the songs, I could produce them, and then put it out, distribute it. I got a label, my BMI, I have Jam Space Records.
The PR's there. You could do that.
Now, I've been talking to people about this, like, with the internet at your fingertips and social media at your fingertips, you can distribute as much music as you want. If you want to you can publish your own music. If you are doing these things right, you can build a following without the help of a label. Yes. When you are on a label, people are going to check you out because you're on that label, right?
If they're looking at the band, if they have favorite bands that are on that label, sure.
But we're not on a fucking label.
Which
It's like,
means that
I don't know if they're going to fucking put us on a label, you know what I mean? And so, we got our own label. Now what? Everybody says, you need a label. You need a label for what? To book shows. Okay, well, I booked 30 days across the United States with no label, with no booking agent. And people came to the shows.
I think people get caught up in the idea of bands, musicians get caught up in the idea of needing a label, mostly because it's not a cheap craft.
Well, here's something that's turning me off more and more the more I look into it, is this idea of gatekeepers in the music industry, man. People that fucking
Hold all the keys.
when you can't get from here to here, when you're trying to take that next step and there's somebody in your way and they think that they know better or something.
Like a
man.
secretary of sound.
It's just so against everything that art stands for. You know, like, you're gonna sit here and tell me how we need to sound or what we need to do on our social media or this and that, blah the fucking blah, dude. Like, I get so fucking sick of social media sometimes.
I do
And then
too.
all these people that fucking have all this advice about the industry, all they fucking talk about is how to utilize social media. And it's just like, it's so shallow, man. It is so very shallow. And it's also a huge distraction. And I don't find it productive at all.
I also don't think it's very creative or unique. It's the first thing you hit in that shallow lake is money. You know, these the people that are in the way of getting to these labels, the trolls of the music industry.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'm
all
gonna show you how to do this. Subscribe to my thing. Buy this class for $99, and I'm gonna teach you social media marketing for your band or
Right.
some bullshit. And it's like, what I've noticed is that more and more people are doing that, and they're selling this bill of goods to artists that want to get to that level, right? And so now they say, oh, well, you should network. And so how do people start networking if they're a musician? Your forte is playing music, performing live shows, right? So how can you consistently put out content on social media that's going to engage people? Well, most people are getting on there and fucking giving advice on how to do more social media. So they're selling this bill of goods to who? Where? Like, once it gets down the line to whoever is fucking paying for it, I mean, what happens then? You know what I'm saying? They are trying to convince you to stay on these platforms, to use this shit more and more. Oh, fucking subscribe to my mailing list, you know, buy this class from me. I'll teach you how to do this and this. And it's like, and then what?
These are the same people,
Yeah.
mind you. The platforms that offer these services are the same people that own the platforms. And class or no class, you're still paying more, for lack of a better word, as an advocate or to an advocate of the page, because they hold the rights to the, so to kind of hold the rights. I'm not really sure how that works, but what they do is have the mailing list. They have the power to put your posts in front of people, and it's no longer about algorithms. It's a dump fund. You fund them, and they dump it out there. And if you ask me, that takes away from the PR. That takes away from the creativity of how you could get people's attention and it go and get noticed on its own versus giving someone money and dropping your band name in someone's timeline.
Well, at the same time, the barrier of entry is getting lower and lower for music. And with all these rappers fucking singing with auto-tune, they make songs on iPhones, they fucking really can't sing. They sing flat, out of key, and then they tune it up with auto-tune, and they make hit songs. And the barrier of entry is so low that it's so oversaturated, man. You know, I really don't know if the world needs another fucking rap song, another hip-hop song, you know? But I'll be damned if fucking 1 million of them don't come out every fucking quarter.
You know, but I don't know 1 million rap artists or bands for that matter, and there's still something there that, you know, it's the masses we do this for. Even if you do write a song on some Fruity Loops app on your phone, who's to say?
Oh no,
if it's catchy,
art is completely subjective.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, man.
If it's catchy, you can't.
If people like it, they fucking like it. I cannot knock it. I'm not knocking their success, dude. Like, you can't. It's right there in your face. There's no denying it. But
Could deny the talent.
the talent is deniable, yes. So when you have this industry so oversaturated and it spills onto these social media platforms, you eventually end up in this echo chamber of like Facebook groups where you fucking follow for follow, Spotify or YouTube subscriptions.
Yeah.
And that's not productive either because it's
like you're trading
not
currency.
It's not genuine.
Right.
You're not getting a genuine fucking fan of your music. You're just mass.
Not to say you couldn't, but
You can, yes, but
No,
it's a fucking. That's a black hole of, you know, follow for follow, like for like. You know what I mean?
it seems it would start to drift away
I've
from
been
that.
there. I'm in some of those groups still.
Yeah.
So what I am trying to do now is take my Bandcamp page and treat it like my social media. So when people follow your Bandcamp, when they join your mailing list, it cuts out all the noise of social media. Because I use social media solely for my music, but I have a lot of people on there that don't give a fuck about my music, and they're just friends of mine that I've known forever. So when you get people to come specifically to your Bandcamp page and join your mailing list, you're cutting out a lot of noise.
In 2 miles,
do.
exit 201
And
is
so
on the right.
what I want to do is start using Bandcamp as like a Twitter or a Facebook, or even model it after like what people do on Patreon, you know? Really connect with the people, because you can, with Bandcamp Pro, you can upload videos. There's a lot of fucking cool features with Bandcamp Pro.
I did notice that it had a way to sign up.
Yeah.
Sign up as a fan. Sign up as an artist.
That's right. And I have a label on there, so if you sign up as an artist, I'll just put you on my label, and you get Bandcamp Pro for free. And so you use Bandcamp Pro like a Patreon, you know what I mean? Like, hey, what's up, everybody? Maybe today I'm gonna play a cover of fucking Sex and Candy by Marcy's Playground, you know what I mean? Or here's some fucking footage that I got in the studio last night of Holy Death Trio, man, exclusively for you guys. Nobody else has this link.
Right.
Shit like that, man. Make it inclusive, you know what I mean?
How do you, if they're not gonna,
Exit
if you're sharing your music and it's
201 is on the
oversaturated and
right,
it's all this
and
music
then
and nobody really
right
gives
turn.
a shit about music, if they're not looking for it, right? Because why do people get on Facebook? Mostly friend stuff. Mostly to see conversations, just what's going on with people they immediately know. There are band pages. However, if you wanted to use Bandcamp as your social media, wouldn't you there and have to get people from the other social medias?
Yes, that's
to
what you do.
Get on that, and that's what
Next
weeds
one.
out. You're saying that's what weeds out the
You
ones
have,
that actually need
you
it.
have to use the other platforms to get the real people that are really truly interested in following you. They should, on paper, they should follow you on Bandcamp, right? And then now you have real fans. Now you're starting to cultivate real fans, as opposed to just kind of screaming into the void on Facebook. Hey, listen to my band!
Assuming it doesn't get lost in the algorithm.
Oh, dude, it never pops up. I don't know anybody. Here, pull in this guest. I don't know anybody that fucking is like, hey, I saw your post about your song today. Because the algorithms keep them buried, man.
And algorithms, I guess if we were supposed to see the patterns, they wouldn't be called algorithms.
Yeah.
But I guess that would weed them out. You'd think if you had true fans. I see the Patreon pushing the Bandcamp, making it personal. So true fans that know they can message you on a message board.
And then if you want to monetize it, you make everybody. You take the Bandcamp family and you go, hey guys, we're gonna move this to Patreon. For $1 a month, I'm gonna give you all kinds of exclusive content. Then you get fucking 500, 1,000 people paying you $1 a month. But I'm modeling this after like comedians and shit, right? They can consistently put out content,
clips of shows,
heckling. Fucking just any kind of social commentary, which is a difficult thing to do for a musician unless you're fucking covering hit fucking pop 40 songs. You know what I mean? Like, what options do we really have? So that's the conundrum I'm trying to figure out. But I do want to get everybody really cultivate a scene on Bandcamp, and then after a year or so of really, fucking curating that, maybe go, all right, everybody, we're gonna move over to Patreon. If you guys want to follow us over there, it's $1 a month. Or even Bandcamp. This is how I know I'm on the right track, because I didn't know this before I started thinking about this, and then I realized Bandcamp already has a subscription platform, dude.
For Bandcamp?
For you, yeah. It's basically a Patreon account. It's on Bandcamp. It's tied into Bandcamp.
Whoa.
So people can subscribe to your content like that. So
this opens up new opportunities.
When I saw that, I was like, man, I'm thinking correctly, because they're already doing it. If they're doing it and I'm thinking about it, then, I'm on the right path.
If Patreon is, content, frequent involvement and give and take, interaction between artists, entertainers, and fans, those tier-based subscriptions can range in price, and they could contain anything. Once a month, maybe get a shirt.
I'll send you
a shirt,
right.
things like that. However,
you guys get first dibs. You're gonna be the first one to know about this. You're gonna be the first one to know about that.
Knowing that there's a subscription about Bandcamp now, if that costs money, that'd be one thing. But if it didn't, and that could be laid into a higher tier of something like Patreon,
right?
Where it's if you're paying $10 a month or $15, not only do you get all this cool shit, stickers, keychains,
it's like
hats.
It's basically.
They also get the free subscription to Bandcamp.
It's a bait and switch.
But you catch the fish.
It's hard to. I don't want to say it like that, because we're not trying to fucking lure people.
No,
but
we're
giving you stuff for free,
platform,
and then we're pivoting to monetize that.
We're using proper social media as the way they were supposed to be used. I believe.
We try to model it out of people that are succeeding in social media, like Andrew Schultz. You know what I mean? Like Theo Vaughn. All the people on podcasts that are just killing fucking social media right now. That's what I want to do, but in a way that is conducive to a music career. And that is the thing that we're trying to figure out. How do we stay relevant, consistent, and engaged with people if we're not just dropping fucking songs every single day? You can't do that, man. You're not gonna be able to drop a fucking song every day.
No.
Every single one of your posts can't be, oh, hey, check out this new. You know what I mean? You got to get people engaged.
Which could be engaging other bands. So some of your content
sharing
today
other people's shit
would be somebody else's content tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And so on and so forth, as they say, rising tides raise all ships.
Well, then, I think this was a good episode. We're right down the road from Justin's house now. It's the first of the year. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to Jam Space with Zach Cry. Thank you, Dano. You want to tell these people where they can reach you on social media?
Well, I'm at on Facebook, just Daniel Rangel. You can find me there. Sound Chemist would be my handle on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel that's Silvertone361. And other than that, we're working on getting our Bandcamp up. So.
And then you can also check us out at jamspacepodcast.com, jamspacerecords.com. We're going to have Dano on there soon. He's getting all his shit in order right now. A lot of big things on the rise for this year, man. 2020 was a bust for all of us, but 2021 is going to be an amazing year. We got it kicked off on the right note, man, in Austin last night. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, I want to give a special shout out to Daniel Rangel. I want to give a shout out to Justin, Ryan, Lance, Miguel, Fro, Colby, Joey Mills, Jason Sharp, Ashley Sharp. Everybody I ran into this weekend. It's so good to see you guys. I never have enough time to see everybody. Alright, everybody, that was a trip out of Austin, Texas with Dano Rangel. He's got a lot of cool stuff on the rise as well. For more information, check him out at Sound Chemist on Instagram, Daniel Rangel on all other social media. You can follow us at Jam Space Podcast, jamspacepodcast.com, jamspacerecords.com. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We got plenty of good stuff this year for you. Keep checking out the Jam Space Podcast, and you guys be good to yourselves.